So this is the first UK refusal letter I got, and obviously the date here is 18th March 2022, right? That was the first time that I was refused a UK visa. So let's go through the reason for refusal, and of course I'm going to be telling you guys exactly how I was able to remedy to turn this into an approval. As a matter of fact, after this particular refusal, I've been to UK maybe like 5 other times right after this, so I've gotten UK visas over and over again. So right here it shows the date of this refusal, 18th of March 2022. It's right here. And it says, "Dear Gerald, your application for a visit visa to the United Kingdom has been refused. So my visa has been refused." And it says that what this means for you is that any future UK visa applications you make will be considered on their individual merit. However, you are likely to be refused unless the circumstance of your application changes. In relation to this decision, there is no right of appeal or administrative review. The reasons for this decision are set out in the next page, right? So anytime you apply for a UK visa and you get a letter like this, right, from UKVI, it means that your application was refused, right? But if you just get an email that says go and pick up your document, it means that, you know, there's a very high chance that your visa application was actually approved, right? So you come here, it now explains exactly why my visa was refused, right? So it says you have applied to visit the UK. In deciding whether you meet the requirements of this and this and this, you have considered your application and any additional relevant information you have provided with it and your immigration history. The decision, put your reason for visa and blah blah blah, all of this. So this is why my visa was refused. It says you state that you wish to travel to the UK for 1 month, right? I don't know what I was doing in the UK for 1 month really. You state that you are self-employed, earning so amount a year, an additional income of this amount a year. You have provided a bank statement as evidence. In isolation, this document does not verify the income you state that you derive from your business, nor that your business is currently trading, right? So it means that your bank statement alone does not prove your income, right? You still have to provide how that money entered into your bank. Right? Is it from employment? Is it salary? Is it from a business? Which business is that? What are you doing? You need to explain all of those things, right? So it's not enough to allege. You also have to prove, just like in the court of law. Now, it also says here that you have provided a bank statement. I'm unable to ascertain the origin of these funds. They don't know where the money came from. So, however, I am unable to ascertain the origin of these funds. I am not satisfied that you have provided an accurate portrayal of your financial circumstances. This leads me to question your intentions for this visit, as you state, or that you would leave the UK at the end of your visit, right? Because of money. Additionally, while I accept your sponsor details, I am unable to ascertain the relationship between you and your sponsor outside this application. Now, what this means literally is that somebody gave me an invitation, right? He's not sponsoring me financially. He's sponsoring me that I'm going to be staying with him and all of those things. So I'm not paying for accommodation. What happened was that they could not find a relationship between me and the person. We don't have the same surname. He's not my brother. He's just a friend of mine, right? So in light of all of this, I'm not satisfied that your intentions of visiting UK is actually genuine. So the question is, what did I do? How did I turn this refusal into an approval? And that's what I'm going to be explaining to you guys right now. If you have gotten a refusal before, right, let me know what the reason is in the comment section, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be responding to you. I'm going to be explaining to that reason in the comment section just below this video. And if you want me to help you with your reapplication as well, just click on the first link in my video description and book a consulting session with me. That way we can actually sit down, talk about your personal and economic circumstances, and from there we can actually advise you whether to reapply or not. And if we advise you to apply, right, we will also be telling you exactly how to do that. Okay, so what did I do? Now, when I read this application, of course I started laughing because I knew that I actually messed up my application by myself, right? But of course this was the first time I was applying for a UK visa and I didn't even know what I was doing really, right? So I now made another application and provided more documentation. Let me show you guys the cover letter I wrote for that application. That would actually help you. I believe it will actually help you understand exactly what I did. So this is a cover letter that I actually wrote. So it can be a guide for you, right? But of course your circumstance is different from mine. So let's go to the cover letter I wrote for my business, right? So I said I felt angry when I got an email that my last visa application was refused. But after I read the reason for the refusal, I must tell you, sir, that if I was the visa officer, I would have refused my application due to the fact that I left a lot of questions unanswered, right? So I plan to provide the missing answers in this application. So I now started. My name is Gerald and I'm the man behind the YouTube channel. I mentioned my other YouTube channel, right? This channel currently is the biggest in Nigeria when it comes to the providing ways to legitimately build a successful business online, which is what I have done over the last few years. My earnings on YouTube are between so and so amount to so and so amount as at that time monthly, which is why I estimated my yearly income to be so and so amount of money, right? Beyond the YouTube ad revenue, I also help organizations promote their businesses on my channel. And as of today, my fee for a sponsored video on YouTube is so and so amount of money. I recently did a job for so and so person and they paid me so and so amount of money. I have attached the email conversation with that person who is the CEO and founder of so and so company, and the invoice of that transaction is also in the part of this application. My channel is fast growing, and so is my YouTube revenue, which you can see in my dollar account. I'm also attached to this application with the remark that YouTube pays. I mentioned it there, right? So that it's easy for them to understand what I'm talking about. I'm referencing what I'm talking about, right? So this is me explaining the source and origin of the funds in my bank account with proof. Okay, so the core of my business, however, is so and so thing, which is mostly what I teach on YouTube. I create and sell courses online, organize paid training and events, and also do SEO consulting for local businesses right here in Nigeria. So this is me explaining my business like at a layman. So most times in my consulting session, I actually take time to talk to my clients and understand you. So most times I ask personal questions because I want to understand you, so that whatever I'm doing, if I understand you, I can explain about you in my cover letter, right, when I'm writing it for you, right? So that's why it's important. I hope this is enough to provide some insight into my business and by extension my financial circumstances. I also own a couple of real estate, but I didn't provide real estate proof because I felt that this is enough, right? I felt that this is enough. So a couple of real estate in Lagos and in my home state, and very recently I published a book on Amazon, so aimed at helping young Nigerians find financial freedom and legitimacy. I've also spoken at conferences and seminars around Nigeria on this same subject. This is me explaining who I am and how I actually make money, right? Of course, there's small bragging rights right there, so which is fine, right? It's allowed. It doesn't carry a lot of weight, right? But emotionally, it actually does something to the mind of the person actually reading it. Okay. Another valid issue that was raised in my application was my relationship with the person that gave me invitation outside of this application, right? To clarify this, I have attached 17 bank transaction receipts dating as far back as 2017, detailing where he sent me different payments for jobs I did for him, which were mostly around website design and development, which is what I was doing at that time. And now mention small websites I actually built for him, right, and other things. I also remember he sent me money as a birthday present 2 years ago. It was my birthday. The guy actually sent me money. I built this website for him and still manage them from time to time. I've also attached my WhatsApp conversation between me and him from 19 November 2020. I would have had WhatsApp conversation from 2017 to date if I had not changed my phone from Apple to Samsung. This is me explaining. I provided proof, WhatsApp conversation, right, to show that I actually know this guy beyond this visa application. Because what this means is that anybody can go online, find somebody and even pay money, and the person will give you an invite to go and apply for a UK visa. So they want to know that you have a relationship with the person that is actually inviting you. Is he your friend? Is he your father? Is he your mother? How are you guys related? You need to actually prove that, right? So that's what I've actually proved with bank transaction 17. Right, there's no better proof that the guy sent me money. I said there are 17 transactions between me and him years back, not like now, years back, right? And there are also WhatsApp conversation from 2020, and I was doing the application in 2022, right? So of course that makes sense. Should you have any concern about the authenticity of my transactions, I have attached, right? What I did was I actually presented them with a way to verify my bank statements, right? Because I know that it's genuine. That is why I always tell people, please make sure that whatever you are submitting is actually genuine, right? It's actually genuine. So finally, let me also state that I aim to travel the world in the course of my life. I'm being a Nigerian who lives in Nigeria. I understand that overstaying my visa at any point in time in any country or engaging in illegal activities will affect my ability to get other visas. Let me register. I now closed the cover letter, right? It's very short, very straightforward, but of course, I've actually addressed all the issues that they raised, right? So you see the issue that they raised the fact that they didn't understand how my money was coming from, right? I've explained that, showing my payments from YouTube and the other sources that I actually get money from here. And then they also mentioned that the sponsor detail, they cannot ascertain a relationship between me and my sponsor outside of this application. And I've actually provided proof of that using that cover letter, right, to actually explain it. Okay, So that's why the cover letter is actually very important. And I'm actually one of the best cover letter writers, trust me, right? And that's part of the services that I also provide. So you want to apply for a visa, you want a cover letter, you can actually get in touch with me to actually help you do that cover letter. Now, the bad news is that after I made this application, I got another refusal letter, right? Let me show that to you guys. This is it right here. So the reason, but this time around, they said that you state that you are self-employed with annual income of this. In support of this, you provide a bank statement with this. However, I note multiple large deposits being accredited to your account over the listed month that exceeds your annual income, right? So if you say that you earn 10 million, why are you receiving 200 million? Where is it coming from? You earn 10 million in a year, but in the period further, you have gotten more than that money. So that was the problem here. For example, a deposit of $2 million on so and so date, right? And $2,850 on so and so date. These large credits are not proportionate with your stated annual income, and you have given no explanation for this. You need to explain this large deposit. This $2 million and $2.8 million they saw in my account. Where was it coming from? That was the problem here, right? Of course, I am therefore not satisfied than this, and this is the only reason why this second visa was refused. Now, when I read this, I knew that I didn't have any $2 million or $3 million or $2.8 million coming into my dollar account. So I now looked closely and I saw that this is my dollar account. My dollar account ends with this, right? But there were like 2 million naira and 2.85 million naira on this date. This wasn't dollar, this was naira. So what I did was that I packed all the documents the same way I used it the last time. Wrote an additional cover letter pointing out their mistake, right? And I said that the visa officer made a mistake, and the mistake that they made was that they were mistaking naira for dollar. That my dollar account is so and so account number, my naira account is so and so account number, and there was 2 million naira inside my naira account on this date they quoted, and there's 2.8 million naira on this day. That on these dates there were no entries inside my dollar account. I clarified that and told them that it is not fair that I'm having to pay for a fresh application because of their own mistake. I now sent in that one, and of course I got an email that should come and collect my passport. There was no refusal letter again. So when I got my passport, there was visa on it, right? So that was how I was able to turn a refusal into an approval using a cover letter, right? A well-detailed cover letter with proof and explanation and reference to documents that I actually have. So that is why I encourage everybody that's applying for a visa, especially if it's your first time application, please write a cover letter. I've been to South Africa twice. I've applied for South African visa twice. That's what it means, literally. And both of them, I used a cover letter in those applications. South Africa has a very low barrier for a Nigerian passport holder. Imagine if I'm using a cover letter for a South African visa. Think about a UK visa. Think about a Schengen visa. Think about a Canada visa. And as a matter of fact, my Canada visa, my Schengen visas, I've always used a cover letter. I've actually made a video previous to show you guys exactly how to write a winning cover letter, and that's the video showing up right here, right now, right? And if you want me to actually write your cover letter for you or help you with your application, all you need to do is to book a consulting session first, right? By clicking on the link just below this video, right? Or the link that is pinned in my comment section. Once you click on it, you're actually going to get in touch with me, right? We're going to talk about your personal circumstances, where I'm going to ask you questions to understand you and your business, and of course that would actually help us write the best cover letter, the winning cover letter for you for your next UK visa application, so you can turn that refusal into an approval.